This is Danny running with scissors, coming at you with a first impression review of the Adidas Boston 11. All right, so first things first, for all of you that are watching, comment in the section below. Tell me where you're from. I always like to know where people are watching from. Secondly, I have never ran in the Adidas Boston line of shoes before, so I can't comment on comparing it to the Boston 10 or even previous models, but I want to give you some of my thoughts about the Adidas Boston 11. First things first, it is a neutral shoe. It has a 8.5 millimeter drop, so pretty thick foam, 39.5 millimeters of foam in the rear, 31 in the front. A little bit on the heavier side. It is 9.5 ounces roughly for a men's size 9. We'll talk about the upper first. Upper in the shoe is a partially recycled mesh upper, so it has a very plasticky, synthetic feel to it. So it's a little bit different, but you're seeing a lot of shoes starting to gravitate towards these recycled materials. Midsole, Light Strike Pro, and Light Strike EVA. So you got dual foams in the midsole, and then you have the carbon, these actually aren't carbon rods, they're energy rods, which I believe are plastic rods, running through the midsole, and then outsole with Continental rubber, which is strategically placed. Impressions about the shoe so far? Well, first things first, again, I can't compare it to the Boston 10, but from a lot of the reviews that I have read that they are very similar as far as the outsole goes. It sounds like most of the updates were to the upper itself. A little on the firm side. I am hoping that maybe this will break in. I think currently I have about a little over 20 miles in the shoe so far. So I am hoping that this does break in a little bit. A little on the firm side. I would like a little bit more pop, a little more trampoline effect out of it, but it is a pretty stout foam directly on the bottom portion, especially with the overlays there. I mean, if you compress the actual foam itself, it's not bad, but then when you put the overlays there, it just doesn't have a whole lot of compression to it. So I'm hoping that's going to break in a little bit. Feel on foot, it feels pretty good as far as the shoe itself. It does have a gusseted tongue, so that holds in place really nicely. It's got a very stout heel counter. Actually, it feels like there's a little bit of maybe a little bit of plastic here. So I mean, this has no give right here, but it does have a little bit of wiggle room right here. I did have a little bit of an issue, not while I'm running, but when I'm standing around in the shoe, you can kind of see that the entryway here, where you put your foot in, is very narrow. So whenever I am either walking around in this shoe prior to a run, or just around the house after a run, I get a lot of rubbing right here on the ball of my ankle. And so again, this doesn't happen when I'm actually running in the shoe. When I'm running in the shoe, I feel no issues there, but when I'm walking around, perhaps there's a little bit more wobble in the ankles. So I do get a little bit of rubbing right here, and it's kind of a, there is a little bit of padding right here on the inside, but maybe there could have increased that a slight bit. Outside of that, it's going to take a few more miles to kind of see how it breaks in. So we will probably follow up with another video, hopefully a little bit down the road. Right now I'm mostly using the shoe on just some daily runs. I've taken it out on a few tempos. Once you get kind of in the tempo groove, it does seem to come alive a little bit more. So again, I'm hoping to see how this breaks in and do a follow-up video here down the road shortly. Again, this is Danny running with scissors. Thanks for watching.